it's Amanda here from Lolli Lulu Crafts, and today I thought we would make a card using this gorgeous stamp set. And I just thought it was so cute with the little rocking horse and the little jumpsuit, and really just sweet, loads of little stamps on here as well. I think you've got quite a few. You've got little sentiments and these lovely little cute things, so I thought we'd make use of quite a few little bits by using the sentiments and everything as well, but the main image that I want to use is this gorgeous little rocking horse. Okay, so now I've prepped some of the work already, some of the card work already, so as we get there I will run through the measurements etc. with you so you know exactly what we've done. Okay, so the first thing we need is to make a base for our card, and I want to make a square card. So I had some of the basil cardstock, which is this really lovely weighted cardstock, and it was in the American letter size, so it was 8.5 by 11. So I was able to make a 5.5 by 11 piece of card here. So we're going to score that down the middle to create ourselves a 5.5 inch square card. So I'm just going to get my little Martha Stewart scoreboard, and we're going to score down at the 5.5 mark, making sure to give it a nice good score because it's heavy cardstock, and then just folding that over like so and running along the spine here with our little score tool just to give it a really crisp finish. So there's our 5.5 inch square card. Now I want to have it as a top folding card. I tend to like square cards top folding. I don't know why, it's just kind of personal preference. Okay, so then I've taken some more of the basil cardstock, some of the scraps of that, and I've used that for some of my mats and layers. I also took a piece of cream cardstock that I had. I'm going to use this to stamp on, but I also used that for cutting out some layers as well, which will, again, I will show you when I get to those parts. And then for my pattern paper I used this gorgeous Walk in the Park by Echo Park 6x6 paper pack, and I really like this one, as you can see, because it's well loved and it's got some really lovely colours and fun stuff in there, and so I thought that would be really fun for the card that we're making here. Okay, so the next layer that I've got is the cream, and that is, I've written it on the back, 5 5/8 square. So basically 1/8 down from our 5.5 inch square card. So I'm just going to take my glue pen, tape pen here, and just run this along all the sides and a little bit along there, popping that down into position. See, that just creates a really pretty, just a nice small border of the yellow. Then I took some of that Echo Park paper and I cut this one at 5.25 inch square, and again, really pretty card. And I love the fact it's got double-sided, but it does gut me that you can't get to use both sides. And then we're just going to pop that down on top here. So again, that's 1/4 inch down, sorry, 1/8 of an inch down from where we were with our cream cardstock. So you've just got two little borders there now. So that's going to show really nicely on there. So then just popping that to one side for a minute, we've then got some pieces of the yellow cream and then another piece of that Echo Park, and I've created some mats with that that's going to create a little piece that's going to go across there. So I don't want to stick this down onto the actual card yet. So the first piece, the yellow, is 2.5 by 5 inches, so we don't need to put any glue on that one yet. And then the next piece is 2 3/8 by 4 7/8, and so that's basically again 1/8 of an inch down from the first piece. So whatever size you decide to do, we're just going down in 1/8 increments just to give a little border on each. putting that on top like so. And then the same with this, we went down 1/8, so that makes it 2 1/4 by 4 3/4. And it's a really pretty little flowery colour pattern with all the different colours, which is really nice, I think. And then we're going to put that one, whoops, down there as well. Sometimes when these longer pieces, it's easier to start at the short end and go up that way, like so. So that's our little element there, and what's going to happen is we're going to pop this piece on top like that, but at the moment I don't want to do that because I want to put some tape around there and possibly 3D it. So what I've got is some lovely little washi tape, so we're going to use that. So I'm going to leave that separate for the minute because then I can tuck the ends of the washi tape down. Now before we get to the stamping etc, I'm just going to open up our card and we're just going to do some bits on the inside of our card. So just using some scraps, so I've got no real measurements on this. This was the only piece that was actually an extra piece that I took from the paper stack, but the rest was all scraps, so I'm just going to put that on the inside. And then I'm going to take, again, I'm not going to put these completely into the booklet, into the card yet, I keep calling it a booklet, because I'm going to do some stamping on it. So I'm just going to pop that, actually I will because it'll be okay for the inside. I'm going to pop that one onto there, so we've got a nice little bit of a border, if it will go straight. There we go. So we're just going to pop that on there like that, so that gives this little border like that. Then I'm going to give this one here next, so it's just a bit of the cream that we had left over. And that's all going onto that lovely flowery piece because we didn't use very much of that sheet of the flowery, this flowery paper here. So this just gives that sort of a follow through. And I've put quite a big border on this. It's sort of probably nearer 1/4 inch. So that's just given a nice show of that pattern. And then we're going to pop this smaller piece into the middle here, and then I'm going to stamp in due course. I'm going to stamp my sentiment on there and probably some of the little elements around the edges as well, just to add a little bit of something to that. Now for putting this onto there, I'm going to use my double-sided tape because it's just a little bit stronger, I would think, and it's a little bit heavier now we've got all those layers, so I want to be sure that it stays stuck. So just pop that down like so. This is supposed to be easy peel, but I never seem to get the easy part of it, but I guess it's probably easier than the ones that aren't easy peel. But anyway, then we're going to pop this piece just down into here, up at the top end of that there, because then that gives a place at the bottom for the person to write anything themselves, so they've got space. So that's the inside, if you don't include the stamping, because we've still got the stamping to do. So now we need to pop all of this to one side and get our stamping done. So I want to stamp first of all my little rocking horse. So we're going to get that out. And I've got some archival ink here, so I'm going to use that. And I've also got my little Fiskus stamper because I really like that. So I'm just going to take my backing sheet off my stamp and then just very carefully, especially if they're new, just very carefully peel it off. When they're new, they kind of are really sticky. You can re-get the stickiness of them when you, if you wash them, they'll get re-sticky. Then pop it down so that it's kind of straightish, so that the horse is looking how you want it to look, like that. And then using your stamper, you can then line it up and just bonk down like that, and then you know that it's kind of straight. Not that it actually matters in this instance, because I am actually going to cut it out, but just then ink it, whoops, ink it up, try not to make a big mess. And again, if I wasn't going to be cutting this out, I would be sort of making sure that it's nice and clean on the edges. Now this is a brand new stamp, I haven't used it before, so we'll see if it needs a second stamp or not. But sometimes they need, like when they're brand new, you need to give them one stamp and then ink them again, just to kind of work them in. Just making sure that it's every little part of it is being stamped. There we go, and that's come out beautifully. We don't need to redo that. Isn't that gorgeous? Okay, so we're going to pop that to one side and let that dry off a little bit, because we're going to do the inside of our card now. So the first thing I want to do is I want to use this sentiment here that says congratulations on your new bundle of joy. So make sure it's the right way up, that would be a good start as well. So we're going to ink up our sentiment. Just making sure there's nothing around the edges, because we don't want anything extra on our sentiment there. And then we're just going to line it up. And that's the beauty of the stamper, is you can put it over the top and then you can see where you're going to be going, and then you can press down. Just making sure that it's all stamped. There we go. It stamps beautifully. Okay, and then I'm going to use some of these little things here. So we've got, for example, the baby bottle, the little safety pin, I quite like that. I love the little dummy and the duck. So I think I'll probably use those three things, the safety pin, the bottle and the dummy, but let's do one at a time and we can judge exactly what we want where. So let's do the dummy first. So position it onto your mat where you think you want it. So I think up there would be good. So then put your little stamper down, and if you line it up, say that with the top of your card, so the crease of your card marries up with the line of the top of your stamper, then you go down like that and you'll pick up your stamp, and then you'll know when you go back on, down, that if you line the top up you will be in the right position, in theory. So then just ink up the little dummy, and then lining up the top of your stamper with the crease of the card again. But also obviously use your common sense and your eyes. If it's not quite working, remove it. And then pop that down. There we go. Doesn't that look cool? So we've got our little elements there, and then we've got our little teddy there. Okay, so we're going to pop this to one side and let that dry, and we're going to bring in our little rocking horse here, and we're going to just colour him very sort of lightly and delicately using some pencils. And I've got these lovely Derwent pencils, that just really pretty soft colours and soft pencils, so we're going to use those, and we're just going to gently colour that in. Now this isn't any particular girl or a boy type card, baby card, so we're going to keep it kind of neutral, and we're going to use sort of the colours that we can see that are in our card already. So just looking at particularly these ones on the little flowers. So we're looking at really the yellows and the aquas, since those are the ones that we particularly accented. So I'm going to take first of all this lovely aqua colour, which I think goes really well with our colours that we've got there. And I'm not trying to make this a realistic pony, so I'm just going to gently colour in his little tail. And then the mane. And we're not going for like lots of shading or anything like that, we're just going for basic, good old fashioned, just easy peasy colouring. Okay, and then I'm going to take the same colour and just go down here on this bottom section and just do that. So I'm just going to take this bit here and we're going for very delicate colouring, we don't want to do too much in it. And then I want to use some yellow. Now I'm going to use this lovely sort of eggy yellow that we've got here, and I'm just going to use that to go in between. And this is just accenting really the colours that we've brought in, used through our cardstock, as bringing out of that patterned paper. And then I'm going to do the little stirrup in the same, and then the flower. Okay, and we'll use that for the bridle. We'll use the aqua colour for the little rug. There we go. And then I think we could do our little pony in the yellow. And just a very light touch. There we go. That looks really pretty, and that goes really well with our colours of our paper there. Okay, so I'm going to go and cut that. Oh no, before I do that, I'm just going to move that to one side. I'm going to grab our little elements here, and I'm just going to add a small amount of colour to these parts, like so. Okay, so that's that section there and there. Okay, so here's our little pony all cut out. So we're going to pop that to one side now, and we're going to start putting the actual front of the card together with our tape and other bits and pieces that we need to do. Okay, so next thing I want to do is take this layer that we've got here, and I want to add some of the washi tape. Now we've got this gorgeous chevron washi tape from We Are Memory Keepers. This one is the white one, but it's well, they call it sheer actually, and it's basically see-through. But when you put it on, say, a colour, it's almost like tissue paper look. But when you have something like this pattern, it would kind of disappear, because it is, as it says, it's the sheer look. So if I just show you a little edge of it, so you can see what it looks like on the back here of my piece of yellow here, just so you can see. So on the back of this yellow here, you can see you've got just like, it's almost like tissue, but if I was to put that on that pattern paper, it really would disappear. But I really like the look of it, so what I thought I would do is leave it on its backing and just take a piece of that, and actually I thought it would just look really fun, just like that, across there, using the backing of it as just to give it that white background. Rather than cutting out a piece of paper to make it white, I thought I may as well leave it on there. So I'm just going to take that, I'm going to take my little tape runner and run that down the back of that, and then pop that on here. So it just shows really that you've got lots of options with all these things. You don't need to be kind of stuck with exactly how it shows you. You can play around with it. We're crafters, we can make things work differently for us, and I think that just looks really effective. I love that chevron, and so you kind of get two things there, two ways of using it, which is great fun. Okay, so we've got that, and then we're going to have our little horse on there, but next what I want to do is I'm going to position this ready, but I'm not going to actually pop it on yet because I need to stamp my sentiment, and if I put that in place it's going to be in the way. So I'm just going to grab my sentiment, and I want to put welcome little one there, which is the sentiment on here, just up there. So I'm just going to put that like that. So I reckon about there. So in order to make sure I put it where I want it to be, once that's gone, I'm going to line up that with the top of my card. The top of my here is with the top of my card, and then these two pieces actually line up with the edges, so I should be able to get that in the right position again, in theory, because I need that bit to be out of the way to be sure that it is going to stamp down nicely, because if I don't take that it will just be in the way. Oh my lord. Let's just clean off me and the stamper so that we don't put ink on our card. There we go. Right, so then we're going to line it up with the top and with the edges like we did just now, and then we're just going to stamp that down like so. There we go. That's come up lovely. Right, so now we've got that sentiment stamped, we want to put this piece on next. So what I want to do is use my double-sided sticky tape to do that. Okay. Bring back our card and pop that in position. I think that looks good, so press that down like so. Happy with that, and then we're going to put our little pony on. Whoops. So to do that, I am of course going to be using my glue gel, my gorgeous, gorgeous glue gel. Oops, before I do that, I want to just gently bend pony, just to give a little bit of curve, like so. So when the pony goes on the front of the card, it's got a little dimension, so we'll put the glue gel deeper in the middle so that it's got that bit of lift and it will stay lifted. And then just getting my tweezers, because it'll be easier to position that with the tweezers to hold it. I'm going to pop that down like so, and then just gently squish it into position. We don't need to give it much of a squidge because the glue gel is doing its job already. I can feel it gripping. If I bring it up, you can see with the dimension and you can see how it's slightly curved in the middle, so it just gives a really nice feel to it. And then all I want to do now is just add some pearls. So I've got these gorgeous self-adhesive pearls. I love these cream pearls. You've seen me use them loads of times. These are the medium-sized ones. Okay, I think I'm going to put one. I think it might be cute to put them in the little points. And I'm just going to put 3 just coming down here, like so. There we go. So we've just got the pearls on the washi tape there, which I think look really pretty, and then just going down there. Okay, so that's our card finished for today. I hope you've enjoyed making it with me. I think it's turned out really pretty. I hope you agree. I'm loving the inside as well with all those little extra stamps, which I think on their own would make a really cute card. I mean, if you changed, you could have this as the whole front of the card if you wanted to. It looks so sweet just on its own right, to be honest. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed making it. I hope you've like it. I'd love to hear your comments, and I will see you again next time. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.